Hello ladies and gentlemen. As you know, Steel Hunters is coming back to World of Tanks in August of this year. This video is the first in a multi-part series where I will be reviewing all of the vehicles. For all those who are new to Steel Hunters is a battle royale game mode where players upgrade their vehicles during the battle. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Firstly, we are going to break the ice by looking at the vehicles that drew inspiration from last season's Hunters. In this episode, we are going to be reviewing the Varyag. First things first, let's talk about the vehicle's stock configuration. Last season, the Red Dawn had the body of a T-43 and the turret of a stock T-150. This season, however, the Varyag has the body of the KV-13 instead. It still has the T-150 KV turret. The gun is the same. It is still the 122mm U-11 howitzer. However, it uses APCR in the place of armor piercing. The two shell types are found in equal portion in all supplies. Heat does more damage. APCR penetrates thicker armor. There is no more loading the gold in Steel Hunters. The Red Dawn was fast and it had good penetration. It had poor radio detection and low damage per minute. The Varyag sacrificed its speed for armor, and the gun is better known for its damage now. The radio has not changed. That being said, the armor is not particularly reliable. It bounces about half of the shots. The damage per minute did not improve much, and the penetration is noticeably worse. The Varyag still gets the repair zone, just like the Red Dawn did, which is very helpful. However, I saved the best for last. The minefield has been buffed. Yeah, that's right, the minefield has been buffed. You can't trigger your own mines anymore, and on top of that, mines now stun enemies. Honestly, this is kind of insane, you guys. It used to be a pretty solid strategy to lay a minefield and then push your enemy through it. Now, it's not a solid strategy. It's just a plain playthrough ender. Things start to get pretty interesting when you upgrade the gun. The Red Dawn got the choice of the penetration or the damage gun. However, the Varyag gets to choose between the damage gun and 2. Yeah, that's right folks, it gets the choice to have a double gun. I think this is gonna really make things interesting, folks. The Red Dawn got to choose between mobility and hit points on the hull upgrade. However, the Varyag doesn't have a mobility hull. They both get the IS-3 TB hull, but for the Varyag it got rebranded from hit points to armor. The Varyag gets to choose between armor and hit points. On the hit points, you get the hull of an ISM. The Red Dawn got to choose from 3 turret choices: view range, rotation speed, and health points. However, the Varyag only gets 2. Continuing the theme of the hull, the armored turret is the Red Dawn's health point turret, the Object 250-4. The new health points turret is the KV-4 stock turret, but without the cupola. Reaching the second gun upgrade is how most players define a successful playthrough. I have to say they have made the new guns very distinct between all the Hunters. They all have 3 guns to choose from now, instead of 4. The Varyag gets loading speed as the first choice, which was instead called DPM on earlier iterations of the common test. The Varyag can also choose the double gun, or damage per shot at this stage. Now I want to talk about how the Varyag actually plays. At the start of any Varyag playthrough, I like to try and get some consumables as soon as possible, as if I get lucky and find minefield, I can easily finish off a stock tank that doesn't retreat. The Varyag's armor is just thin enough to frustrate the driver, yet also just thick enough to really annoy its enemies. The engine power and speed always feels lacking, and the vehicle's traverse speed makes driving the Varyag very awkward. However, the engine upgrade does a little bit to remedy this, and it's one of the few vehicles to upgrade the engine first. Most of the time, the first gun upgrade is the milestone that marks when things start to get interesting. This is especially true for the Varyag. Personally, I prefer the damage upgrade. As a Steel Hunter veteran, it's a familiar and nostalgic choice. For me, the damage gun could not have done a better job breaking the ice. I must say though, the double gun is a very close second for me. It does a really good job spicing things up and has lots of MLG moment potential. It's also tons of fun. Next is the hull upgrade. This used to be the point where you had the most room for creative expression. I think things have become a little simplistic and lackluster compared to last season, however. The Varyag gets 2 hull choices that are pretty solid. However, they're pretty heavy, and I feel a little bogged down, especially when I have the top speed engine. The turret choices are the same type as the hull, and they are pretty much the same on paper. At this point, it's basically a fashion statement that you're making. The loading speed upgrade on the second gun is essentially the first gun, but with better penetration. Although the same holds true for the second double gun, it looks more deadly and fashionable. The second gun hits as hard as it did on the Red Dawn last season, and has a slightly lethargic loading speed too. Overall, the Varyag has average armor, average speed, and is good in most situations. This is a good place to start if you are a Flammenschwert fan who wants a much more balanced playthrough. The Varyag is not a very aggressive vehicle. It's not suited to chasing things down. It's more than capable of holding its own, stopping enemies from stealing supplies and spoils. However, the Varyag is a very consistent vehicle, making it very suitable for new and returning hunters alike. The Varyag is a very forgiving and balanced vehicle. Overall, the Varyag is the perfect vehicle for anyone looking for a balanced first playthrough. I'm not listening, and this has been the Varyag review. If you liked my video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it, but if you hated it, let me know why down in the comments below. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more.